So this is really heartbreaking and incredibly frustrating. We've got all these hurricanes happening right now and extremes that the world has never seen before and frequencies that the world has never seen before. And we've got all these 24-hour, 24/7 cable news networks that not a single one of them are making the connection between what's going on and global warming and climate change. Not a single one of them. There's a mix between, some of them will talk about just flat out denying it. It has nothing to do with global warming. Not at all. It just happens. It's an act of God. And then we have some cable news networks that are just, they have this neutrality position of, well, let's get people on this side that believe in global warming and people that don't believe it will talk and we're just going to be neutral about it, which is equally just as bullshit. People that don't recognize that 2 + 2 = 4, they shouldn't have a place at the debate table, and they should definitely not have a place at the legislative table where laws are crafted and regulation is crafted. Because all of the scientists, almost all of them in the world, the ones that aren't under crony capitalism, ever since 1970 something, they predicted this would happen, that the sea levels would rise. Well, they've risen, that there would be more moisture in the air. Well, there's more moisture in the air. That the air would get warmer. Well, for 3 years in a row, going on 4, we're beating records every year. It gets warmer and warmer and warmer. The climate does. And they've drawn a link to how human beings interact with the earth and the globe warming up faster than it should be on its own without our involvement. So nobody of a rational mind is claiming that these hurricanes and natural disasters are happening as a result of what we're doing. What the scientists are saying is that they're happening at a faster rate and more extreme than they would be otherwise if not for our involvement. And so in the midst of all of it, we see it. It's not something that's tomorrow, it's happening today. And not even cable news, corporate-owned cable news will make the connection. And at best, typically they'll just have the deniers of climate change, the deniers of fact that's happening right now. Something that's observable and measurable is happening right now. It's no longer a prediction. They've been predicting it since the 70s, but it's no longer a prediction. But it's typically cable news networks, corporate-owned cable news will have people that just outright deny it, or at best, they'll just have people from both sides talk about it and they'll just maintain neutrality. So there's no real journalism happening because a real journalist is going to report the facts and hold people's feet to the fire of those facts, and they're not doing that. So this is just going to continue. What we've seen so far, it's not even a drop in the bucket. The 60, 70 something people that have died, the tens of thousands that have been displaced, it's not even a drop in the bucket. We debate so much about what to do with the economy because over half of the country lives paycheck to paycheck. Well, skip that. That's not going to matter if these natural disasters keep happening, and they're going to, but they're going to get worse because we have a bunch of climate deniers. And if we have a bunch of climate deniers, we're never going to craft policy to create a green technology revolution, which is going to make it so that we don't cross any more thresholds. Some thresholds we've already crossed, and we can't go back on that. But there's other thresholds that are far more costly, far more deadly than the ones that we've already crossed. And we're going to cross those if we don't create legislation for a green revolution technology, and we do it fast. And we're not going to do it because there's too many deniers out there. It's one big circle jerk between the corporate-owned media, the corporate-owned politicians, and the corporations themselves that have their profits to protect. And I love profits. Just profit on the right thing. Don't profit on the wrong thing anymore. 1979, ExxonMobil's own scientists, not anybody from the outside, no hoax, no conspiracy, their own scientists of ExxonMobil said, you keep doing what you're doing, here's what's going to happen, and here's the catastrophes it's going to cause. ExxonMobil was like, yeah, that's nice, let's bury this, we got money to make, business as usual. So ExxonMobil knew it, and they kept going anyway. They didn't care. They had money to make. They created a cost that the whole world has to pay for. They created a cost knowingly, intentionally, the whole world has to pay for. And they don't have to contribute to cleaning up that mess that they created. You do. So it makes no sense to be a climate denier. The scientists that told us about the eclipse that was going to be here, nobody questioned that. It's the same scientists that told us about what was going to happen here with global warming. So don't vote anymore for people that are on the take. Politicians that are on the take, don't vote for Barack Obama, Clinton, Bush, Trump. They're all on the take. We got to stop voting for those knuckle draggers. We need principled people that aren't bought and paid for so they can do the work of us rather than the big corporations that are killing us.